Hi everyone, my name is Luann Douglas and I'm the owner of the Wreath Lady. Today I'm going to show you how to make a grapevine wreath into a beautiful spring wreath using florals and some greenery and a little bit of ribbon. The first thing I am going to do is I am going to clean up my grapevine wreath. Sometimes it has sharp needle or twigs on the back or on the front. I'm going to trim those off. And as you can see, I have one right here that needs trimmed. I'm just going to take some wire cutters and cut those off. Getting those off helps from scratching doors and walls. So I'm just going to go around and trim some of those off. And yes, it will make a mess on your table. And I'm going to turn it over, do the same here. Just double check it a little bit. Out of the way. Now, all grapevine wreaths don't always come perfect. This one is a little off, as you can see right here. So I'm going to choose the best side, what I think would be good, and go with that. So I'm going to go with this side here. This is my front. Okay. Let's see if I can push this down just a little. This is my front. So the first thing I'm going to do after cleaning up the grapevine wreath is I'm going to make my bow. And today we're going to be using 1.5 inches of a floral bow. And I'm going to be making this one by hand, but you can make it using a easy bow maker or however you wish to do it. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to start out with a 12-inch tail. And I'm just going to take that and I'm going to pinch it between my fingers. And then I'm going to measure out 10 inches and loop that around. And again, I'm going to pinch that into my finger. Give it a twist. Another 10-inch. Loop that around. And again, pinch and twist. Once I get my loops made, I kind of use these as my guide, but if you're unsure, go ahead and measure it out. You can just kind of measure them. Again, you're going to pinch, twist, loop, pinch it into your fingers. And I've got 3 on each side, so that's going to make my bow. Then I'm going to just measure out my 12 inches again for the other tail. And I just kind of play with it a little bit, get it around. Then I'm going to take a wire. I don't know if you can see that wire. Put it on in the middle and give that a kind of a little tug and a twist. Okay, there is my loopy bow. Okay, now I'm going to insert that through my grapevine wreath. Now, some grapevine wreaths are thin enough you can get the wire through. Others may, you have to kind of work with it a little bit. You can use a wire cutter or something like that to push it through. This one was thin enough I could get the bow through. So I'm just going to pull that through and tighten that on the back. And when I'm all done, I will cut that wire off. And I'm just going to straighten my bow out a little bit. And until I get all of my flowers and greenery on, I'm going to just roll my ribbon tails up and kind of tuck them up underneath that bow. Get them out of the way. Then I'm going to take a spray of flowers. Now I'm going to trim some of this off because I don't like all this excess stem, but you can also just use the whole stem in there, but I'm going to trim it off. And these are thick, so it takes some time to get it off. I just kind of go around the stem a little, and then you can kind of get it broke. And I just kind of trim off some of that excess that's there. Okay, now I have that, and I've just kind of spread my flowers out. And I'm going to take a little glue and just put it on the edge of that stem. And I'm going to go up here and I'm going to lift my bow and I'm going to push that down into the grapevine. Make sure I got that down in there. And I'm going to kind of play with those a little bit. Hanging them out. Oh, I see what I'm doing. Bottom, I'm going to do the exact same thing. Glue. And you have to kind of do a little pushing on it. This one doesn't want to go in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to back up. Since that one's so thick right there, I'm just going to tear these apart and put them in individually, which is, you can do also. Just stick them in individually. Sometimes you really need muscles to do florals. And with this one, I'm just going to go right in here. And stand this up just a minute so I can see it. So far, this is what it looks like. And I'm just going to decide, I might decide where I want to put those. This direction. And you can just play with it and put it in wherever you want. That's the fun. You can't hurt them. I'm going to pull that down a little bit. And I have some greenery here that I am going to pull apart. And let's see, there's 4 stems on this one. So I'm going to pull these apart and cut them off. This one's not cutting where I want it to. Okay. Pull those a little bit, put some glue on there. Then I'm going to put these down behind the florals. You can just stick them in. I'll tell you what, I think this one is really bothering me here. There we go, maybe that's better. Okay. Going to move this, maybe, and get it out. Move it up here. There. going to pull some of my flowers out a little bit. I'm going to hang this up so I can take a look at it. Pull those out and get my bow fixed. Kind of play with it a little bit and get some of your flowers around. And you have a quick, easy wreath. Now to finish it out, I'm going to turn it around and check my back. Make sure I have one poking through. So I'm going to trim that off and stick it back through the wreath. You always want to check the back. And I'm going to cut my wires off that I've used my ribbon for my ribbon. And I'm going to poke it back through also. Poke it around. Poke it around. Okay, there you have a simple wreath, simple quick wreath using just 2 sprays of florals, 2 packages of greenery, and a bow. So I hope you enjoyed this short tutorial on how to do this, and I will see you soon. Thank you.